Hello, this is Heather Smith here. Today I'd like to show you a short video on the Xero Cashbook. This is available to global users and the level of this video is intermediate. To view this video in high definition on YouTube, click on the small setting wheel on the bottom right corner and select 720 HD. If you learned something from this video, please like the video, share the video with your friends, and subscribe to my channel. Connect with me via the links in the notes below. Xero Cashbook. The general Xero product talked about is the Xero Business Edition, but there is a lighter, cheaper version called the Xero Cashbook. To subscribe to the Xero Cashbook, you need to be a Xero partner. A business or individual cannot subscribe directly to Xero for their Xero Cashbook solution. They must go through a partner. There are 3 versions of Xero Cashbook. One has very limited functionality, so I'm not mentioning it here. The other 2 are essentially differentiated by whether they come with a consumer tax or not. By that, I mean whether they come with GST, VAT, PST, the extra bit of tax added to purchase wherever you're located. For the purpose of this, I'll call it GST. The Xero Cashbook without GST is suitable for someone wanting to track their personal finances and who feels comfortable working in the Xero environment. Now, the Xero Cashbook with or without GST, dependent on the registration situation of the entity, is suitable for labour-only contractors, sole traders, property trusts, market stall holders, investment entities, dormant companies, startup companies, companies that don't require invoicing, and similar simple business structures. Now, what's great about the Xero Cashbook is that it can be upgraded to the full Xero Business Edition. So if you are indeed a startup and you're sort of going through those early stages and you're wanting to record your expenses, but you're not really in a position to invoice, it's a great solution to start on once you do, which is always the goal, start receiving income in and start invoicing people. You can open up into a Xero Business Edition. The Xero Cashbook that I'm talking about here has unlimited bank transactions. It has, for the Australian users, activity statements. It has reporting, a budget manager facility, and file storage. It appears also to work with the Xero to Xero network. The Xero Cashbook does not have invoicing, billing, the ability to process employees, inventory, or expense claims. Now, if you do have a Xero access to Xero, you'll notice that when you go to your My Xero area, at the very bottom, there is the ability to access a demo version of the Cashbook. Go to the bottom, click on the hyperlink that says Change Country or Edition, and select Partner Edition Cashbook. It is, however, a very limited edition because it's set to a very limited role. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to jump in and show you what a cashbook looks like and just show you a few things that you can do with it. This is what the inside of the Xero Cashbook looks like, and I'm just going to take you around and help you explore it. Always hide this section to give you more real estate on your screen. You can see on the left hand side I have the opportunity to put in bank accounts and unlimited bank transactions with the Xero Cashbook. On the right hand side you'll see it says add invoice, bill and expense claim, which is a little bit confusing because you don't actually have that ability to do that here, but that is there. I'll come back to that later. Over here on accounts, you'll see it has bank accounts, which is the kind of primary area that you can use. You do have access to reports, you do have access to the budget manager and the ability to process an activity statement in here. That's for Australian users. You do have access to full sort of advisor options there, and you do have the ability to enter lots of contacts there. And over here on settings, you've got all the sort of the general settings that you would expect to see. Let's just go and click on them. Depending on what you want to use, you've got all the sort of general settings there. So I just want to show you one thing. I'm going to come here into accounts and I'm going to click here on sales. Again, I'll close this down. And you can see I can click here on invoice, but it does say To approve invoices, you need to upgrade to a Xero business plan. And I can put in a client here. And I'm just going to put in demo there. So I can enter that invoice, and I can't approve it unless I upgrade to a business edition. I can, however, save it. So I just want to show you what happens here. I can save it, and so I could essentially generate invoices and save them here, but I'm not able to approve them. Now let's just take this one step further. I'm going to click through back onto that invoice. You can see here I can print the invoice to PDF, so I'll just do that. I'll click print now. And you can see here is my invoice, but it says draft invoice. So that's not acceptable. Here in Australia, it must say, if I'm actually going to send out an invoice, it must say tax invoice, but that says draft invoice. So I can create an invoice, but it says draft invoice. So I'm just going to show you a little workaround. If I click back here and I come over here onto settings and I click on general settings and I scroll down to invoice settings. And what I'm going to do here is see here where it says new branding theme. I'm going to click on the drop down arrow and I'm going to select custom.docx and I'll call it demo invoice and I'm going to click OK. And you can't see it there. You need to now scroll down and you'll see demo invoice there. Now what I need to do is click on download and a file of these invoices that I can customize downloads. I'm going to click on the zip file there. I open it up. You can't see, but that's what happened. It opened up into that. And I'm going to click on this one that says invoice. And this is the invoice here. So it's looking a bit messy. I'm going to click on enable editing. And here where it says invoice title, I'm going to delete that. And if I was registered for GST here in Australia, I would replace it with the words tax invoice. Just so that you know that I've actually put that word in there and made changes here. I'm just going to change that to a nice blue color, just so you know that I've actually done something in there as well. I'm going to go File, Save. I'll save it to my desktop. Closing down. Closing down. Click on Upload. Select under Invoices, select Browse. Select invoice there, click open, select upload. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back into accounts and go sales. I need to go into the draft invoice here, click on that. I need to open up the draft invoice. Very importantly, I need to come over here to the branding and click on branding and select demo invoice. Save that. Now I'm going to go back in here and I'm going to print PDF. And you can see there I now have an invoice that is acceptable. It says tax invoice. It's changed the color there to prove that that was the one I imported in there. And look, if you occasionally needed to send out an invoice, you kind of do have that option there, but it's not a real invoice. And if we come back here into the invoices area, it's only ever going to stay in draft. You're never going to have an accounts receivable balance sitting there if you are using the Xero Cashbook. But as you're growing and you're in a sort of startup phase, it perhaps avoids you having to go to a Word document and create an invoice. The money, when you receive it, will still come into your business and you will be able to reconcile it properly. You will be able to report it on BAS. So I just really wanted to give you an understanding of what Xero Cashbooks was and how you perhaps can use it in your business. Remember, you do have access to reports, you do have access to Budget Manager, and the Australian users do have access to the activity statements. So it's a nice light program. The purpose of this video was to give you a better understanding of Xero Cashbook. If you learned something from this video, please like the video, share the video with your friends, and subscribe to my channel. Connect with me via the links in the notes below. Thanks for watching.